let's continue playing Endless Space, and the galaxy looks very, very blue. And it's going to get a bit more blue because we now have control of the Hadar system. Not that we can actually move out of it if we're at peace, because of the way the thing works. Now, you will notice a small issue. We're advancing much further, which I'm going to fix now. Because obviously we need to secure we need to basically protect this system as we go and conquer the rest of them. We need to move our second fleet up. Also, this means we need a backup fleet here in order to basically prevent us from being counterstruck. Other issues we've got is this little fleet here. And so we're going to send this over to go and deal with them. Because, meh, we can. So we have our secondary backup fleet with no leader heading towards the Hadar system, and once that arrives, we'll move on from there. Other things, we have, what's currently being researched? We have interspecies HR, which is unlimited information highways. That's the one. Which gives us overpopulation disapproval on the star system, and reduction, and also 30 happiness. So that should hopefully be the last of the happiness boosting items we need on a lot of our larger systems. End turn, by the way. So lots of things are built. That's now done. They're going to offer us ionic crystals for peace. Refuse. Nope, not going to happen. Oh, and they've decided to attack us, have they? Right, we'll go sabotage. I think we can go for missiles, because they seem to be focusing on that as well, mostly. So sabotage, engineering, engineering. Auto. And they did a fighting retreat. Which now means we get a second stage one, which will do pretty much the same thing. I would imagine. That's the main reason why we need the backup fleet there. Oh, that one actually decided to try and fight and did win with their card did get through, but we didn't take any damage from that, so that's okay for us. Right, we will move you, and wait a minute, that wasn't the one we wanted to move, was it? Whoops, oh well. You head back to there then. For some reason I thought that was a stronger fleet than it was. That was silly of me. Oh well. That merges up to 2,000. We'll have additional things being done at some stage. Let's go and try and build that next, because that will help us out there. How are we doing for food? We have a food problem there, so we're going to go and probably rush that. And get that done. Then we'll get this done as well. Maybe not. But that needs to be done. Then we can go explore the moons, I think, and get food that way. Or we can go for that. Yeah. Making sure the planets don't starve is probably more important at this point, so that's what we will do. We can't fight on here just yet. We'll have to move everything else, though. Well done, you. You're determined. You are determined. And because of your determination, I think we're going to have to try and take it out. What are you actually attacking with at the moment? Fleet with a power of 2,000. Ying then. I'd love to just build that and go. I might even manage to do that, but... we can't build anything because it's too small. Or you can't build... problem is we can't build things fast enough at this stage. Right, that will go and destroy that fleet. This has got to really just meet up with them. Now see, that'll get there. So I can merge the two fleets we got here. And that will work that way. Sounds suspicious of us. Everything else is doing things. Right, end turn. Right, there's food on the Hadar system. And a loss of money. We have lost a bit of money, actually. Right, you need to go for something that looks a little like cyber skills. We then need to go. How do we want to do this? Could up trade routes and try and turn into a bit of a trade leader. As for you, we're going to go for fleet speed up. Okay, let's move things along. Yep, thought that would happen. We're going to go sabotage. Sabotage, engineering. We have more than double their strength, so this should be our victory easily. Yes, it is. Ooh, and you want to fight us as well, do you? You don't, I know that much for a fact, but fine. Yeah, fighting withdrawal. Right, now you have to get to there as well. Right, with that merged, I got a fleet strength of 5,000. That should be enough, but we've got to back up just in case things do go wrong. And we're just going to sabotage them round 1 and see what happens. They were destroyed. We have our Red Sang monopoly back, and ooh, I still want to play, so sabotage, barrier, repair. They just retreat. Or not. They had a lot of stuff there. I should really have looked into this a little more. Barrier engineering. They were destroyed. Engineering then first. Sabotage, engineering. Probably didn't even need. Probably don't need that, but. Alright, we lost 1. 1 fleet left. It's not going to matter. They're not going to have enough attack to keep that up. Right. Create. Merge. I think we want to begin the attack now. Or just resume the attack a bit. Got to put them on the back foot here. 7 turns till conquest. They might well make it back round and annoy me that way, but I need to basically sort some things out. Alright, get that done, because that'll be done in 2 turns. Nis isn't actually building anything like that, so they can go straight for the highways. Polaris is... Yeah, Polaris needs to build money. Right, let's convert these to gold production for a little bit. Have Hydra sequencing afterwards queued up just in case we do decide to do something else with it. Split you for the same thing. And that should put our gold up to plus 52. Okay. So the rest of it isn't overly needed. Galtar's not doing anything. So you might as well build that, and build that. Also moon survey and exploit that for food. Nope, doesn't overly need food. We'll exploit that for science. And the moon survey up there. Right. Once that's done, careful sweeping and intensive cultivation logistics can go there. Right, at least everything's doing something, I think. So onwards. 6 turns, so we take another system. We now have advanced biologics. And it was an empty moon. Hurrah. Right, so that basically means now we get plus 40 trade distance boosts, and we also get the wasteless supply chain, which will provide additional food on various things. Also, you've decided to come back. And the Hisho have declared war. Right. Go for fleet interception. We need to take these out. Sabotage engineering. I might have to accept a peace offering from the Sherendyns if they come up with one next. Right, so that system is now back under our control. There's a lot we can do there. That's actually going to be helpful. And that will be once it's done, and we need that as well, really. Right. You can go for... I can't actually build anything useful. We could build paladins, but they're just not worth doing at this stage. I should upgrade those. So I guess we're going to have to wait for something to come along that's able to deal with those. Meanwhile, you can stay there. You are going to head to the Gatria system. And guard. The Uxor system will require that. And hydrosinking. And also probably that as well. Now that'll do, just that. So there's a little bit of extra money this turn. We're at 266 negative a turn at the moment. So let's convert you. You're going for money once you've built your little arid thing there. We'll queue those up, but yeah, done it. Too many systems that actually require the things to be built for them. Right, queue for the moment onto money. How much are we down to now? 190. Need one of our major systems to actually start doing things like that again. That'll actually recover it, so. Entries of the Faithful. Because it needs them. Alright, 22 turns, you're going to take Lonica off of us, are you? Not likely, but we might as well. Might as well do some things there. Let's actually upgrade the Paladin class ships, because I'm not sure I've done this in a while. We actually do have railguns and depleted armor, so we can do that. So hurrah, Paladin freeze. And overall attack strength, not brilliant, but enough, I suppose, for a basic defense, which is all we're really after at that stage. Also means that I can use these to support our other things up here, because that's a tough enemy fleet that's just passed us by. Sing then has got to build, once it's done that, not the Hydra sinking, but it will probably build some Paladin ships. Yeah, because Vindicator's are a bit beyond it, that's the problem. We do have a fleet capable of dealing with the 4000. But now we're fighting wars on multiple fronts again, aren't we? And we don't like doing that. Right, that merges up to 4,300. We need one or two more before that's going to be able to do anything of great help to us. Alright, let's exploit for that. Let's then consider what we got defending here. Also, Ying's now back up, so what are we for money? 227 still to the negative. We could do with this actually coming back onto it being a money world. Darn, I've got too much stuff building things that aren't actually going to help us a lot. Negative 88. Thing is, once that's in, that's plus 24 money once it's done, so... we need to recharge the batteries down here, don't we? Goodness. That wasn't building it anyway. Ventus kind of does need those. I don't think that's going to need it now. I'm just going to go gold there. Okay, that's actually somehow increased the amount of... What kind of logic is this? Alright, you've gone up a level. What can we actually do with you? More food production, I suppose. Let's go for defense boosts. +2 per population on planets for 7. So we got the improvements that will, in theory, sort us out and make this a very, 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 very rich area. Let's just go conquer these for now. Right. Sabotage. Engineer, engineer. Auto. Next thing we need to do after this is probably strike at the Setzer system, if we can. Shame I don't have a spare ship to throw at them, really. Five turns. Right. Let's see what that does initially for a negative 153. This is a problem I need sorting, but we'll wait one more turn and see how this goes. We can hold out one more turn. Right, 4 things have been built. So we have that, we have that, we have an attack going on. Sabotage, armor, engineering. And they retreat. See, that 4,000 is actually enough to hold that off. The problem actually is over here. We could really have done with that coming in a turn earlier. That all needs building, but for now, that was set to negative 123. I can up it to there, but I'd rather not if I can avoid it. Or it doesn't seem as if I can. 4 turns till we take this system. I'm not going to fight this one off just yet, because they're actually not attacking. The other options I have are not particularly good. Alright, you have to defend that system. See what else has actually been built. I think that'll have to do. We're going to have to risk for now losing a couple of systems, but Placidus is going to start. Yeah, this will work for us, I think. Right, let's deal with that in a bit. What's that? Create, merge. Alright, next up, this was the battle at the Graphius system. So we shall go engineering, sabotage, repair. 2,783 led by a leader. And they were wiped out. They're offering one Hydra meal for peace at the moment, but we're 3 turns away from taking their main system off of them. I think that's perfectly fine, and in fact, if you've moved on, then I'm perfectly willing to have these go up and deal with this first. Graphius has to unfortunately stay there, and in fact they've moved on. Ooh. I don't like that. No, I don't like that at all. Kairos isn't actually doing anything. Not that Kairos can do an awful lot, to be really honest, but still, it's not doing anything. So that'd be plus 8 gold for -7, so that's really just plus 1. And that would be better for making the system a little more useful in regards to gold. Now, this is a gold battery. I can't do a lot else with it, really. It's a gold battery, but we'll do that first. Plus 303. There we go. We're now back to ridiculous rates. Well, I actually did build this turn. That's gone back to money. Probably the Ukta or the Ares system. The Ares system does produce a lot. Can't colonize the asteroid, which would give us that. It'll make people a bit unhappy, but 2 turns. Two turns, taxation, hydrosequencing. That works out for us. Not too concerned about the Ying thing just yet, because we've got other things we need to deal with, actually. But I am going to strike at the Setzer system here. At least find out what they've got sitting there. Barrier, sabotage, engineering. If it gets onto the 3rd stage, well, it won't be needed. So we can't begin invasion just yet, but if we secure that system, we can now send this off to go and hunt this. And in fact, we don't even need tactics here, really. I suppose we could just make sure we're fully repaired, actually. So we'll do that. Go retreat, little warrior. We have no interest in you whatsoever. So overall, that's okay. We now have Gatria and Graphius secured. It's now just a case of dealing with the other invaders. And it is now a war of strength here, I think. 2 turns for the Fatty system to be ours. Let's lock them in, actually, because we don't want them sneaking around, even though they can do it. Banny might as well build that, because we've got that. And that because it will help eventually. Beyond that, just that for more happiness, that for more population, and that and that. Right, now Bandy's doing something. Hooray! Right, 2 turns until we take that system away. We're going to make some movement. Go, hello! You wanted to invade our planet. Would you like some help? Oh wait, it's our planet. Go away. Don't know quite where they ended up, actually, but it's done. Can now merge those up, and that's becoming a much stronger fleet up there. The Octa system now has ridiculous amounts of ridiculousness. So we'll swap that over for a turn. 196 plus a turn we're currently making there. That is quite silly. We are approaching silly levels. Hooray! And that's worth having on this system as well. But it's a late improvement. They have decided to go off towards the area system, which they can, I suppose. Ying might as well now build that, because it's not going to take too long. Careful sweeping as well actually is worth it. And I will put the intensive thing on there, because I actually do now have sort of plans to go and colonise this gas helium. This helium gas giant, because we might as well. As long as people are happy enough on the system, it's worth chewing, though. It's -20 and it is kind of okay at the moment. Might have to wait for one more little tech upgrade before we can actually do that. Meanwhile, everything else. That needs some exploitation on it. So we should put some more production on this system. Polaris is fine. In fact, Polaris might need... Yeah. Polaris, careful sweeping. Adaptive. Hydro sequencing. Plus 28 only, but we've got plenty of places which will be worth a lot more money once it's done. Meanwhile, invasion time. Sabotage? Auto. If they bother to fight this, we've won, so... And now we can start attacking the Setzer system, which will be ours in 4 turns, and that is a much easier planet to defend. And actually not so much of a bad one, really. What do we need for that, actually? Adamantium. But then we get that, and that's a lot of pluses. I think we get a few on other systems as well. Polaris Workshop we've already got active. The Soil Summoner we don't have yet, because that requires Quidrinix. There's more happiness there. Tree of Worlds is fine. Everything else that's going on is going on. So awesome for that. Careful sweeping, because we're going to go moon exploration now. Moon exploration and more moon exploration. And more moon exploration. Because you can never have enough moon explorations. Ember turn. So they've now arrived there. 1 turn until we take the Fatia system off them, by the way. The semi-system now has enough influence to chain itself up, and we have a non-administrative leader. Oh joy, you're joining. Right, now that that's happened, yeah, I was going to ask. Okay, barrier, sabotage, engineering, auto. And thus, they retreat. And I think they are destroyed, technically, because they're surrounded completely by... They might be able to retreat to the Phasia system, I don't know. Anyway, we now have better missiles. So our fleets are about to get even tougher. Which is good. We're 3 turns away from taking that system away. I am slightly paranoid about leaving that there, to be honest, but it's something we're going to have to do. And I think building up a reserve fleet on the Bundus system is probably a good idea. Meanwhile, the Bundus system itself should really be going for that, so it can have some more money. Now that we get up to plus 172 again. That can go and do things. Roshanev can go and do things. Plus 48. It's about maintaining the batteries here. And they've actually split off into random directions for some bizarre reason. well, not to worry. Gold. Enter. So Aerie now has a happiness boost because of things. We're 30 minutes into the video, so I'm going to be ending shortly. And I believe we've now conquered the Fatia system. Excellent. There's a population of 30, so it's going to need that. It's going to need... No, not that. Not that, though it will. It needs all of those things, and it needs some moon exploration once we've done it, although apparently we have some moons explored on this system, so we already have that gold bonus. Hooray! Awesome, and we want even more population on this system because we're silly. They want to try and take the Lamika system, but oh darn, you've just come back there, haven't you? Well, if you really want to challenge it, fine, but it's just not worth me. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I'd much rather have the system, the thing on the Bundus system, and just build up that massive force I've got here. Meanwhile, over here, you do have some spare spaces, so we're going to send this Vindicator off to go and join you. Merge 1840. Or 18400. And beyond that, I believe we are done. So as you can see, we have some challenges. But ultimately, they're now going to be facing down Vindicator 9s. Auto upgrade. Yeah. Dense plasma shielding, decay shells, plasma torpedoes. And the fleet goes through another upgrade. So next time, Vindicator 9s and our continuing conquest of multiple systems. So until then.